How's it, everybody? Welcome back to the Rocky Fern. My name is Luca and I have OI Type 4. And in today's episode, we're checking out a very cool Hoya. It's my biggest Hoya of the bunch. It's Hoya imperialis. So let's get into it. So my Hoya imperialis is actually kept outside along the Hoya wall. It's too big for me to kind of lug around and show in front of the camera. So I have some footage here we're going to be looking at. And it's a Hoya that I've been waiting almost 2 months to show you because it produced peduncles, it produced flowers on those peduncles, and it's taken 2 months for us to get from that point to here where we actually have a bloom, and they're freaking awesome. So they're like 2 inches, and I've read descriptions of their blossoms getting up to 4 inches each. Flowers. So imperialis meaning of the empire, imperial. I would assume that's just because it's so big. So Hoya imperialis, let's get into it and we'll talk about care and whatnot right now. Alright guys, so Hoya imperialis is found in Southeast Asia, anywhere from southern Philippines all the way up to southern China, and they're found in the wet biotope of the jungle. I got my plant from Angel House Plants off of Instagram, and this is the exact plant that I purchased. It was a huge plant, I was blown away by it, and I love this plant. Okay, so we're going to start here in the backyard. It's the back side of the Hoya wall, and I'm filming with my iPhone, so forgive me because it's kind of cruddy, but it gives you an impression of just how big this vine is. It's about 10 to 12 feet long. What's beautiful about this Hoya is the big green undulated leaves. It's kind of like Hoya undulata, if you will. Very fuzzy leaf though, very beautiful green color. One thing about this Hoya is the flowers. They're huge. Look at this blossom. It's like a giant cherry, and this is what I've been waiting a long time for, is this flower right here. It is so beautiful, so big. It definitely has a waxy feel to it, which is where Hoyas get their name from. They're wax flowers. The vines are tomentose, the leaves are tomentose, and what's really cool about this Hoya is it can take a ton of water. In fact, it needs a lot of water. I tend to water this every other day, and it's kept in a 10-inch pot, I believe. As you can see here, there's a little chlorosis here that I'm going to have to probably address with fertilizing. I'm trying to show you the new growth tip here and just how fuzzy it is. The unfortunate thing with this Hoya is because it requires so much water, especially while blooming, it dropped probably 10 to 15 individual flowers. And I believe that was just because I was underwatering. But I've picked up the watering, I guess, if you will, and it was able to finally produce beautiful, beautiful flowers. Each flower, like I said, can get up to 4 inches across, which is mind-boggling because these are already about 1.75 inches to 2 inches across. So to double that would be pretty amazing. This Hoya is such a fast grower. It's definitely more of a scrambler, of a vining plant than it is a trellis plant. So you definitely want to give it a really big structure to climb onto and wrap around and just start to get really big. This plant does need to get quite sizable before it's ready to bloom, and it is a heavy feeder. So I keep this guy in the back side of the Hoya wall where it receives lower lighting. It does receive maybe an hour or two of morning sun, direct morning sun, and then the rest is just really bright shade. It seems to really enjoy this spot. Like I said, it's a super, super fast grower. So make sure you give it something to climb on. I haven't had any issues with any pests necessarily. I don't use a systemic out here in this pot. I will spray with neem oil once in a while, but I haven't had to on this plant. It's an incredible, just fast growing species, something that I really think you need in your collection if you have the space. But those big undulated leaves just really get me, and the fact that they're fuzzy, I just can't get enough. So alright, so as we start to pan back out from behind the Hoya wall, you can kind of get another feel for just how big and long and fast growing this Hoya is. I've got some close-ups of the blossoms. They are touched up, but it was pretty bad lighting. But you can see in this just how beautiful this picture is, and then one more with my hand as reference. Alright guys, so that was the Hoya imperialis. Such an amazing plant. I hope that I can actually produce a lot more blossoms on that thing. They're so awesome, and it'd be cool to see the blossoms actually increase in size and see if I can play around with that. But if you like what you see here, which is me here in beautiful Hawaii, Kaua'i, a subtropical zone, show off my houseplant collection and some gardening in some different parts of the island, talk about my OI, which is a bone disease that I have. Tune in, subscribe. You guys, it means a lot to me that you guys are subscribing to this little channel. Let's grow it big. If there's anything you want to see specifically in the collection, definitely let me know and I'll be glad to do a video about it. I'm going to be doing a Codex video here coming up. That was a subscriber request, so that's kind of cool. And I do have quite a few Codex plants, which, you know, they're weird, so I love them. But yeah, subscribe, give a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure.